Another day, another dollar in this beautiful world we call truck driving, where every single day there's always changes in this industry that you may or may not know about. But first, it's Payroll Friday. Did you get paid today, and are you satisfied with your paycheck? Guys, if you're not satisfied, it's looking like the FMCSA is trying to do something to boost rates for domestic carriers. Let me give you the headline, but before I give you the headline, let me give you my disclaimer first. Guys, I'm just reporting the news. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I ain't got no agenda. I'm just reporting what they just got off television telling the world. But because we truck drivers, hey Andrew, I didn't see the news. So now you're about to see it. Here we go. Here's the headline. Are you ready for it? DOT hopes to force out 194,000 non-domiciled CDL holders out the trucking industry immediately.
It was alleged that the open border policies of the last administration has led to an exploitation of our nation's trucking licensing system. So today, I'm here to tell you after our audit that those reports, they're all true. What our audit has already discovered should anger every single American. So here's what we've learned. We just want to walk through it. First, our audit revealed a systemic breakdown among states to follow the law and issue licenses properly. States are failing to follow even the most basic procedures. We even uncovered widespread procedural errors, computer programming flaws, and a gross lack of oversight in the states that issue CDLs. This means that thousands of licenses that should never have been issued actually were issued. States are issuing licenses that extend months and even years beyond a driver's lawful presence in the U.S. This is a direct incentive to stay in our country illegally beyond their authorized work permit. They have driver's licenses. So in some disturbing cases, they have failed to validate a driver's lawful presence before handing them a commercial license. It's deeply disturbing, but even worse. Our second finding was that the current federal regulations are allowing dangerous, unqualified drivers on American roadways. This means that even when the rules are being followed, dangerous individuals who shouldn't be near a big rig are getting behind the wheel and causing crashes on our roadways. Eligibility requirements are deeply flawed and they're way too broad. They are simply not strong enough to prevent more of these horrific crashes from occurring in America. The system, it's failed, and it's a national emergency. So the combination of a catastrophic failure of states to follow the law and a broken system has created an imminent hazard to American travelers. That is why today I'm announcing two immediate major actions. Number one, we're issuing an emergency rule that fundamentally overhauls who is eligible for a non-domiciled CDL. These tighter federal standards, they're going to keep Americans and families safe on our roadways. Now, this is not a proposal. This is a final rule, and it is effective immediately. Jesse's going to go through those details in just a little bit, but here's the bottom line. Non-citizens will not be eligible for a CDL unless they meet a much stricter set of rules. Second, all states must immediately pause the issuance of non-domiciled CDLs until they can comply with our new rules. My message, it's very simple. Get into compliance now, or we'll pull funding and we'll force you into compliance.
They didn't send no email, ain't no text message, ain't no phone calls, ain't no warning, ain't no 30-day notice, 60-day notice, 2-week notice. They ain't getting no notices. They got on the news today. They ain't even tweet nothing. They just got on the news, told you what it was, and told you it goes in effect immediately. So Andrew, how they gonna force out 194,000 non-domiciled CDL holders, not Americans? We're talking about the foreigners, non-domiciled, okay? DOT on Friday, which is today, held a press conference and released a new interim final rule related to the non-domiciled CDL issuances that tends to push out almost 200,000 non-citizen drivers out the industry and potentially boost rates for domestic carriers. FMCSA found approximately 200,000 non-domiciled CDL holders and approximately 20,000 non-domiciled commercial learners permits to be somewhat invalid. Non-domiciled CDL holders will now have to renew their license in person annually, every year. So if you got a non-domiciled CDL, your license basically expire every year. Every year you got to go up there in person. You can't send no type of paperwork in the mail. They ain't accepting none of that crap. You gonna show up in person and renew your CDL with all your documents. You gotta have your visa. They don't want that EAD no more. The employment authorization document. They don't want that no more. Now you're gonna come with the proper paperwork if you want to renew your CDL, which is why they believe that when you guys get ready to renew your CDL, that you don't speak no English, and you ain't got the proper paperwork, you ain't got no visa, everything's expired. That's why they intend to push out 194,000 people when it's time for you to come renew, because they know you're not gonna have none of the paperwork. And because you now have to renew every year, the time frame for all these 194 truck drivers to get up out the industry is 1 year from today. Starting today. Today's the first day, and it's already 6 o'clock. So you might as well we're down to 364 days at this point. Oh, you actually got a short amount of time than that. It says when your visa or your documents expire, or your CDL, whichever one expires first, that's when you're up for renewal. So if that comes before the 1 year, that's when you'll have to go renew. And of course, you're gonna get all the proper tests. We're gonna make sure you speak English. You can read all the road signs. You're gonna have to go through a federal check system now. Make sure you ain't wanted in other states. Make sure you are who you say you are. Make sure them visa documents ain't expired. They gonna check you out. Of course, this comes after my man hit the U-turn, wiping out that family. They cracking down, and they cracking down hard. ChatGPT, let's see what they got to say. It says now non-domiciled CDL holders that possess an employment authorization document will no longer be allowed to qualify for a CDL. Now you have to have either an H-2A visa, a H-2B visa, or E2 visa. The difference, they're all temporary, which means you're only gonna be here for a short amount of time, not a long amount of time. And because now you gotta renew your CDL every year, now when your visa expire, hey, it's temporary. Visa was only good for 2 years, or your visa was only good for a year. Hey, got to go. You got to go. You got to go in. You can always get in line to apply to become an American citizen, and they ain't changing that. You may have to wait 5-6 years. But this gold rush of trucking, where the foreigners come over, take all the money, and build up their land. We gave you enough time. India and all these other countries should be built up. Built up. Best military in the world. I mean, we gave you what, 4-5 years. The Americans were suffering. We had to try to figure out on $1 a mile. Matter of fact, we suffered so bad they went up on everybody's insurance renewal. I ain't hit nobody. But they done went up on all our insurance renewals. So it's not, they punishing the Americans too, just not as much as the foreigners. Yeah, everybody got to pay. Everybody got to pay. It says, new federal oversight and in-person requirements. The new rule also tightens security and verification. Every CDL that is issued and renewed must be checked through federal databases, meaning immigration status and visa information will be cross-verified before you get or keep your license. All renewals must happen in person. No more remote renewals or mail-ins. CDL renewal periods have now shortened. It says another significant change is how long a non-domiciled CDL will remain valid. It will now expire at the earlier of the end date of the worker's visa or the work authorization, or 1 year from being issued. So basically, they got you. They got you. The FMCSA know when these foreigners get ready to come renew their license, which expires at max 1 year. No more driving the truck, which means, you know, the scale house is gonna have to do their job, because now the foreigners know what's up. They're gonna be blowing scales. We got to keep our eye on them super ego trailers. I gotta keep out for them super ego trailers. Yeah, you know, they ain't going in the scale. Yeah, they ain't going in them scale, them super ego trailers. They know not to go in the scale, because you know what's in the scale? They're gonna be checking CDLs. Yeah, with the S on it. They need to see all the CDLs. You know, you foreigners, you got a couple of them, so they need to check all them CDLs, visa permits. Do you speak English? You got to pass the English proficiency test. Can you read the road signs? Can you have a conversation? Yeah, we know, we understand, you know, hey, they showed you, we know they showed you what the signs mean, and you can talk a little bit of English, but can you hold a conversation? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Whew, boy, hard. Why they being so hard on the truck driver today? Boy, they being hard on y'all. It don't make no sense. I can't help y'all. I don't really have any advice. You know, hey, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I will go learn English and try to apply for American citizenship. That's really the best advice I can give you. Really, I wouldn't even learn English. I would first just try to do the American citizen route. And if it looked like it's about to go through, then start learning English. But as of right now, you know, y'all gonna have to go back. Wherever you got to go back, wherever you came from. I don't know. Or maybe you can stay in the United States. You just can't drive a truck. You know, because really they just after the CDL. Whatever the case may be, what do I think truck drivers should now do? Well, if you work for the foreigners, understand they need you. They absolutely need you. The foreigners, you know, they ain't got their own people to depend on no more. Now they depend on us. So the first thing I would do is start talking about that raise. Hey, look, Mr. Russian man, Vladimir. You got me over here at 60 cents a mile, but hey, Vladimir, you ain't got that many options. I need 70 cents, 75 cents. Really, I need 80 cents. I need 80 cents a mile. Or else I'm gonna go find me an American company. Yeah, lease drivers. It's now time to tell Vladimir, we not leasing no trucks no more. We're gonna be 1099 company drivers now. I know y'all don't want to be W-2. We're gonna be 1099 company drivers now, and now we need 70 cents, 75 cents, 80 cents. No deductions. We don't want no more deductions. None of this 200 and 250 a week escrow, and you know you gotta pay $3,000 and for the escrow. Nah, all that stuff over with. So y'all tell me what you think. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this new regulation that's constantly changing. American truck drivers, we may be next.